Hi, and welcome to this sermon study video for the sermon on August 7th called Getting Out of Rows and Into Circles. An icebreaker for this study would be to go around the room and each of you describe yourself as either a pity person or a non-pity person. This is an image in the sermon about some of us really enjoy when we're sick having others come along and say, "Oh, you poor thing, can I get you anything? Do you want some tea?" We like that. My family and I are like that. And then there are some of you that say, "Leave me alone, shut the door, I'll let you know what I need." So would you describe yourself as a pity person or a non-pity person? Is there anything that you need to share with your group about how it's best to care for you when you are in that situation? Well, there's two primary topics of discussion for today in the small group. One would be based on the Acts chapter 2, 42 through 45 passage that we've been sharing quite a bit in this sermon series, specifically for this week on caring, the passage that says, "They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people." I didn't have time in the sermon to go into it, but what's the connection between eating together and caring for people? I mean, a lot of us grew up in churches where if there was any problem whatsoever, from minor issue to major tragedy, the response was to bake a casserole, to take a cake, to do something, to carry food over to someone's house. It was a way of showing care and concern. But it's more than just that experiential side. That's the scripture as well. If you think about it, in both the Old Testament and the New Testament, eating together was a sign of the covenant in both cases. The Passover meal, it was a meal that binds us together. Communion is a meal we share together, and communing not only with one another, but with God. Talk together about why eating creates such a community. What is it about eating that creates care, or at least should help us to care for one another? I remember a story of Queen Elizabeth making sure there was a rule that no photographer ever caught a picture of her while she was eating. She made it clear that she thought that was less than regal to be seen in that moment. Well, think about that. How does eating together celebrate our humility, our humanity? How does it show caring? And I'll give you a hint. One of the things I think it does is show that we're all the same. We all have basic human needs. Well, a second topic would be derived from the gospel passage, Luke chapter 7, 11 through 17. That is the focus of so much of the sermon. It's the passage where Jesus sees the widow who is grieving the loss of her only son. I talk about in Jesus' day, just like in our day, we are sometimes trained to not see people. I specifically think about if you're walking in downtown and there are homeless people nearby that want to get your attention and you know they're going to ask you for money, how we are trained at times to just not see them. Are there other people in your life that you can think of, examples of categories of people we are trained not to see? What are the factors that determine who we see and who we ignore? For you, is it a different race that you have a trouble seeing, or a different culture, someone who speaks a different language? What is it that drives us in that, well, who we see and who we don't? Is it fear of vulnerability? Is it fear of offending someone? Maybe this idea of privacy in our culture? And then finally, should Christians have a different set of eyes so that we see more people than the average person who's not a Christian? Have a conversation about how people who follow Jesus should look upon the world to see people. Well, there's more than enough there to cover. I hope you have a great small group. God bless you.